Hi, folks. Welcome to Curtis Goes Corner. No BS here, just straight commentary. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Curtis Goes Corner. I would cover this article here. Okay? I would. And I would love to go into the topic a little bit, but unfortunately, my channel's on YouTube only. Now, I used to post on Twitter, except for they wouldn't take down a porno done with an underage minor girl because it said it didn't go against their terms of service when the mother and the family asked them to take it down. So I stopped posting on Twitter these videos. I might go back. Who knows? But here's the problem. Look at the headline here. Look at the headline. I can't talk about this because it'll be taken down. I talked about the Time magazine article that came out a few weeks ago. Very well written, I might add, because it told the truth, or at least most of the truth. Who knows what they left out and what else they did on Time magazine's called Shadow Government Secret Cabal. But they took it down, and I got a warning. So it was a two-part series, so I took down the other one as well. I didn't even challenge it. I said to hell with it. The reason why I'm showing you this and telling you this is because I'm right in the middle of negotiations of selling my business, and I'll be doing a lot more videos and ramping up the channel a little bit, and I'll be on other platforms. Rumble, Parler, MeWe, I heard is a good one. A friend of mine, Steve, told me there's a lot of people on that. And there's a whole list of them here. You know, BitChute, Gab, Parler, Odyssey, Minds. There's a bunch of them that are coming up. I think Parler will be the number one for me. Well, we'll see. But I just wanted to show you, this is the problem. This is the problem. So I can't cover this because they'll just take it down. And if I get another warning, I get a strike. And welcome to censorship. You can't even talk about the issues. So I'll cover this topic instead. And that's just the way it is. From redstate.com, New York Times finds that Latino voters are prone to believing misinformation and conspiracy theories, so a lot of them voted for Trump. Holy crap. Talk about racist. A certain race of people are prone to misinformation and conspiracy theories. This is what I'm talking about. This is deflection on a global grand scale. It's the progressives and the leftists that are the racists. They always have been. Democrats for years have been the racists. They just have a whole new twist on it. What about that quote? If you don't vote for me, you're not black enough. Remember that one? That just went right over their heads. In fact, I saw a video where there was a person supporting Trump at a rally and a Biden person come up and they mentioned that quote. And the guy says, you know, if that's really true and you show me the video, I'll tear up this Biden sign right now. So he got his phone out and showed him, and the guy looked stunned. He walked away but didn't tear up the sign. They don't care because they are. They are. Civil War, racism in the South. Slavery in the South, racism. Yeah, slavery in the South. Democrats. After the Civil War, Ku Klux Klan, all the rest, Democrats. The new Jim Crow laws, which passed through the 1960s in my lifetime. I'm 64. I'm not that old. All Democrats. In fact, during the Civil Rights Act and other legislation passed in the 1960s when Lyndon Johnson was president, he had to recruit a whole bunch of Republicans to vote for it because guess what? The Democrats, many of them, would not. Nothing has really changed. Just because we had a non-white person as president, i.e. Barack Obama, who won fair and square. I'm going to give him that. I thought most of his policies sucked. I'm not going to say he did anything wrong or FRAUD or any of that nonsense. He won fair and square. Well, it didn't help that Mitt Romney was one of the milquetoast opponents, but I digress. New York Times finds Latino voters are prone to believing misinformation. A whole race of people, which, by the way, Latinos is a whole new race. What they are is they're not indigenous people from Mexico, Central and South America. They're the descendants of Spanish conquistadors. And in Brazil, Portuguese. That's why they speak Portuguese in Brazil and Spanish in the rest of South America. They've always been the racists. And no one seems to give a damn. Nobody cares. It's amazing to me. Let's read on before I completely lose it. The New York Times ran an interesting story yesterday that is headlined, "A Vexing Question for Democrats. What drives Latino men to Republicans?" How about policy, morons? While Democrats won the vast majority of Hispanic voters in 2020 presidential race, the results also showed Republicans making inroads with this demographic. The largest non-white voting group, and particularly among Latino men, according to exit polls. 36% of Latino men voted for Donald Trump in 2020, up from 32% in 2016, looking at a third now. These are huge numbers. These voters also hope Republicans win several House seats in racially diverse districts that Democrats thought were winnable, particularly in Texas and Florida, because Democrats assume a certain race votes and thinks a certain way. Don't you people get it? That is by definition racism. Both parties see winning more Hispanics votes as critical in future elections. Well, that makes sense. Yet a question still lingers for the most recent one, especially for Democrats who have long believed they had a major edge. What is driving the political views of Latino men? What do you think? The same issues that drive everybody else. Policies. The questions is sort of myopic, one written by someone from whom political history started around 2008 at the earliest. That's a great line. I love that. In fact, when President Trump did was bring back Latinos to the Republican Party in about the same numbers before we nominated John McCain and Mitt Romney to be our standard bearers. Well, let's see here. Yeah. God, rest his soul, John McCain, but, he served his country valiantly and was prisoner of war and all that. And as a man and individual in his service, I have mucho respect. I say mucho on purpose just to be a jerk because we're talking about Latinos. But, but other than that, he was the old neocons. They're bringing the Republican Party down. George Bush got 44% Latino vote in 2004. If you want to see the trend over time of presidential votes by demographic, you could do a lot worse than the New York Times infographic from 2016, which doesn't seem to have been redone in 2020. The menu bar at the top of the screen as you scroll down goes back to 1972. President Trump also got black votes back to where they were in 88 to 96. The article is full of anecdotes that are data as far as most of the media are concerned. Anecdotal stuff is not. Anyway, let's read on. For decades, Democratic candidates worked with the assumption that if Latino voted in high numbers, the party was more likely to win. But interviews with dozens of Hispanic men from across the country who voted Republican last year showed deep frustration with such presumptions and rejected the idea that Latino men would instinctively support liberal candidates. Of course. It isn't just about Cubans. Cubans, yeah, ask any first generation or or immigrant from Cuba. They'll give you an earful. These men challenge the notion they are part of a minority ethnic group or demographic reliant on Democrats. Many of them grew up in areas where Hispanics are the majority and are represented in government. And they said many Democrats do not understand how much Latino men identify with being a provider. Earning enough money to support their families is central to the way they view both themselves and the political world. Well, there you go. My left is Tears mug. These are quality mugs. Thanks. Got that from Ben Shapiro. They worry about feeding and providing for their families. That probably means there are families with both parents in the house. Something Democrats hate. They want to destroy the nuclear family. Unbelievable. Like any voter, these men are also driven by their opinions on a variety of issues. They mentioned their anti-abortion views. Yes. A lot of Catholics. I was brought up Roman Catholic because my father was Italian. Support for gun rights and strict immigration policies. Yeah, why would they want people? They probably had went through a hell of a time getting in this country. Why would they want somebody with small or no skills crowding the line? They have watched their friends and relatives go to Western Texas to work the oil fields, and they worry that new environmental regulations will wipe out the industry there. Yeah, they're getting 70, 80, 90, 100,000 plus a year. Those are damn good jobs. So most say their favorable view of Republicans stems from economic concerns, a desire for low taxes and few regulations. Yeah, who wants to pay more taxes? Duh. They say they want to support the party they believe will allow them to work and become wealthy because they still believe in the American dream and the American ideal. I did an episode on Justice Thomas on the Supreme Court, who came from nothing, less than nothing, in the deep southern Georgia in the Jim Crow days. Try coming up from that. Oh my God, do you think Latinos are just like everybody else? I can't pronounce that, but I mean, the horror, I guess, is the horror of it. As an aside, I'm pretty much of the Jeff Charles school of thought that the GOP's problem with black and Latino voters is largely due to lack of serious outreach by state and local party officials. Ding, 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 ding. That's the answer. We don't court those people. When I say we, I mean conservative people. We don't show them the realities. We're not flat earthers. We don't tell them their truth. We tell them the truth. And many of them start to come around. Towards the end of the article, you will find this squirreled away. I'm going to go through this whole thing here, but some of the frustrations voiced by Hispanic Republican men are stoked by misinformation. Oh, including conspiracy theories claiming that the deep state took over during the Trump administration and believe that Black Lives Matter protests caused widespread violence. That's misinformation, really? Wow. Folks, we're in a dystopian world. Some quick thoughts on this. If you're going to write about misinformation and conspiracy theories, take the time to understand what you're writing about. Yay! Don't be an ass clown. I say ass hat, same thing. Don't be an ass clown. No one, as far as I can tell, no one ever claimed the deep state took over the Trump administration. They claim a provable one, I think, is that deep state fought President Trump's efforts to impose his policies. Yeah, not quite the same. It's not tomato and tomato. It's not the same. If you claim that Black Lives Matter protests caused widespread violence as a mere belief, you have problems that only be addressed by large amounts of industrial strength psychotropic drugs. Well, yeah, a lot of people in Congress, they had the Platinum Health Plan. They can get all kinds of quality therapy and drugs. The U.S. Crisis Monitor, a joint project of the Arms Conflict Location and Event Data Projection, say that 3 times fast, and the Bridging Divides Initiative at Princeton. Oh, my God. These guys come up with some amazing names. These are noted for their right-wing policies of spreading misinformation. documents 671 riots in the United States between May 26th and September 12th of 2020. In less than a year, 600. Of those, 91% were caused by BLM. Axios reported that insured losses from the BLM riots were expected to exceed $2 billion. We're over twice the amount of the Rodney King riots. This is not taking into consideration uninsured losses and the loss of income but generated by businesses destroyed by the riots. And here's some video here. I can't play it, but if you want to stop the video and write down the name of the video on YouTube, you can watch it. And it's just amazing stuff. Let's finish up the article here. Also, you can't escape the same smug classism that is just description by a privileged New York Times reporter who obviously has little real knowledge of working class lives of any color, ethnicity. It harkens back to the 1995 Washington Post article when plumbing the mysterious depths of evangelical Christianity for reasons why they were voting for conservative politicians rather than godless atheists. Well, there's a shocker. Decided it was because they were poor, undereducated, and easily led. You know, they cling to their guns and their Bibles. Remember that quote from that genius? Even though he's a very smart man. That was a very dumb thing to say. You can't read this article without that conservatives in the midst of vibe that Joe and Goldberg wrote about back when he seemed to be conservative. The bottom line is that Latinos vote for the GOP for the same reason that thinking working class people of all races and ethnicities vote for the GOP. We do a crap job of reaching them and we need to do better. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly right. I know it's tough. I have a store in a very low-income area. I used to be a Democrat here in upstate New York. I have a convenience store. And I'll tell you the truth, it's almost impossible with Hispanic and black women, younger or older. Older ones a little bit easier, but not much. But most of the breakthroughs I've made with GOP and conservative views are the men. Why, I don't know. They don't vote for the GOP because they're prone to believing stuff that isn't true or by buying conspiracy theories. This is what the media does. This is a good article. Good article. And this is a good article too, so I'm upset that I couldn't show the one I started off the video with. But saying that people of certain races think and vote a certain way is by definition racism. What the hell is going on here? Can you imagine if President Trump had said X always votes a certain way, or black men vote a certain way, or white women vote a certain way? It would have been hell to pay. It would have been out every day. Oh my God, CNN would have covered it 24/7 for 2-3 weeks. But yet, what do you get when articles like this come out? What do you get from the Democrats and the media? Crickets. Why aren't they outraged? I'll tell you why they're not outraged. Is because they believe this, and they are the racists. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.